Hey, what's up, y'all? Today is week 10 of my Guttate Psoriasis flare that was induced by strep throat. So 70 days in. On one hand, I'm happy that I'm this far in it because, at the beginning of this, you're miserable and you're like, wow, 3 months is so far away. And now I'm at a little over 2 months, 70 days. The 60 days is roughly 2 months. So yeah, about a month, 2 months and 10 days. They say 3 months is kind of the time. I've had this before, and I think it was 3 or 4 months it took. So anyway, without further ado, I'll give you a quick look and not ramble. I've got a flare going on right now. These flares are kind of persistent. Lately, I've been getting them on my side. There, you can kind of get a good look at them. And yeah, it's just my legs are still pretty chalked up. Feet are pretty clear for the most part. Not sure if you can see anything there or not. I'm trying to let you look at the back. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know what I look like at 10 weeks, 70 days. And then, it's just a grind. I just came off about 6 days of like really being clear. I thought I was pretty much on the mend. And yesterday this flare popped up. So kind of itchy. Like I said, if you can kind of see me from afar, I don't look bad. I got a lot of sun. I got a little stuff going on down here. I got a lot of sun about 2 weeks ago, and it really helped me out a lot. So if you can get some sun, that's what I'd advise. I hadn't even been using steroid cream. I did start again yesterday since this flare. That's what happens. It seems like once a week for me, about every other week or about once a week, I'll get a flare that lasts 4 or 5 days, and I'll hit it with some steroid cream. And, at first it's more widespread, and it kind of I don't know, it's like your immune system gets ramped up, and it kind of, I don't really know. You'll know if you're experiencing this. Maybe not everybody else experienced this, but that's something that I would say. Like, it seems like you're clearing, and then you'll get this little flare, and you can kind of feel it coming on, and it kind of gives you some anxiety. For me, it gives me anxiety because I can kind of feel it coming on. I'm like, oh man, my skin's about to break out. So I don't know. Maybe it's just anxiety, and then I'm getting a flare or something like that. But I was pretty happy with where I was at just up until about 2 days ago. And I'm not unhappy with where I'm at. I'll show you my arms. My arms look decent. I got some stuff here. This arm was really one of the more harder hit places of my body. That's what these little flares. This is kind of the remnants of what I had. This isn't really necessarily a flare. That's kind of been there. So anyway, that's what I look like 10 weeks in, 70 days in. If we're looking at 3 months, I'm about 3 weeks away. And, it could be 4 months. This happened about 11 years ago. I know I've kind of been redundant, but I know probably everybody doesn't watch every video. Some people just catch a certain video. So about 11 years ago, this happened to me, and I took methotrexate and did some other things. And it lasted about 3 or 4 months. I'm getting close to 3 months. I think it's going to subside on its own. I'm hopeful. I pray that it'll subside on its own. I don't really want to go on any medication. But yeah, I'm a lot better than I was week 2 or 3. That first month was really tough. You can watch the videos. It's, week 2. Look at week 2, week 3. Week 4 is when it kind of started to fade, and then I would get flares. And ever since week 4 has been kind of fading of the psoriasis, and then about once a week, like every 7 days, I'll get like a flare. And those flares will last 3 or 4 days, and then they'll kind of be good for like a week, then I'll get a flare, and then 3 or 4 days, and then it'll clear up, and then a week later, another flare. And then I hit the flares with some steroid cream, and they're a little uncomfortable because they kind of itch, and you can kind of feel them. When you're not in the process of having a flare, like, it doesn't really itch or burn. Like, you can kind of keep covered up, and it doesn't really affect you that much. So anyway, there's the update. Hope you all have a good day. God bless.